Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the war-ravaged planet of Avitius. The forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus under, what was his name, Magos Pluraxis Ort, I believe it was?
The Unyielding.
The Unyielding, oh of course, because the forces of the Mechanicum repelled the forces of the Word-Bearers in our first game, sent old Darvor the now quadruply damned, scampering. Yes, and he's now just... Yeah, I think he might just be the damned now. I don't think he needs a number on the number of damnings he's had. Sent them scampering for their landing zones, and then gave chase in order to hunt them down. Very wisely. To hunt them down and eradicate them from the surface of the planet. So, game number 2. The Word-Bearers have sucked the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus into an ambush, which is going to be entertaining to see what happens. So we've got deployment zones. So we're outside of the city now, heading out towards where the Word-Bearers have landed. We're outside of the city. The Adeptus Mechanicus will be in that square rectangle there. So, ably demonstrated by my glamorous assistant Alex, thank you very much. So the dice running across there and then across into this corner. The Word-Bearers will be in this deployment zone here, and there'll be a number of units hidden in this central portion here. These are the units that drew you into the ambush. So, spoilers! So, realising that the threat from the Word-Bearers was significantly greater than he first anticipated, Pluraxis Ort sent out a distress call. He didn't manage to get the full details because the engine seer was killed in the last game. He didn't manage to send out the full details of the Word-Bearer host to any prospective reinforcements that may be turning up.
They're basically just going to help.
Yes, pretty much just help! Help, we've been attacked by Word-Bearers, come save us. And the war fleet of the Blood Angels actually responded to the call. We have Chaplain Acriel leading the charge, and the Blood Angels will be coming on as reinforcements for the Adeptus Mechanicus to help eradicate the forces of chaos. They will be attacking, or they will be starting in this corner here.
Yeah, so basically just
along the line of the Aegis, so and across there.
Much smaller area because they've just come on.
Indeed, and there's the little corner in the middle. Sorry, the little road in the middle is empty.
The corner in the middle?
I know, that's why I changed my mind, yeah.
Okay.
So, yes, thanks, I made a mistake there. Thank you very much for pointing that out. So, the... Right, so the forces of chaos, once again, trying to break through the forces of the Imperium, continue the domination of the world, and take it in the name of the Dark Gods. And
any particular Dark God?
No, all of them. Yeah, the Pantheon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheeky.
There are a number of different aligned units in the Word-Bearers army today, which we'll see later on. But yeah, it's just generic chaos, really. So, deployment-wise, we're going to do standard alternating deployment between the two armies.
Yeah.
So, Admech in that corner, Blood Angels in this one, the majority of the Word-Bearers in this side, and then a few units, it's like forward scouts, the ambushing bait, I guess, in the centre. I will be deploying in a hidden manner, so I'm deploying bits of paper with numbers on, and they correspond to the units in my army, because it's an ambush.
In terms of first turn,
yes.
Do you get any modifiers?
It's the same as usual, so if you finish first, +1.
But surely you're ambushing us, so you should get +2. Or plus some kind of even non-negative if we finish first. I think you should get an additional +1.
Who went first last time? I did.
I just think purely because it's an ambush, shouldn't there be some kind of modifier to you?
Yeah, you'd think so.
I would say so.
House rule.
House rule.
Yeah, let's put it in.
Okay, so house rule, should we just say that I get +1 regardless?
Yeah, so there's, if we finish first, then we don't get the +1, there's just the negative, it's just the
okay,
generic.
Yep.
And then if you, then you
Yep, that's fine. Okay, so, yes, as stated, we'll do a standard roll off for who gets first turn, and we'll modify the dice roll depending on how it works. The idea being that it's more likely that the word bearers will go first, even if they end up finishing deployment second. Yeah. But we'll work it out. We don't want to just give them straight first turn, because you might have sniffed out the ambush and be ready for it. Well, you still might do that as well. So that's what it's going to be. It's 4,000 points. So it's going to be a big one. It's going to be pretty bloody, hopefully. It's the Blood Angels. Okay, it's going to be pretty brutal. And we'll go and have a look at the armies, and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, so this is 2,000 points of Blood Angels coming in to provide reinforcements for the Adeptus Mechanicus. So it's a Vanguard detachment and a Spearhead detachment? Absolutely. Or is it the other way around? I can never remember which one.
This is the Spearhead.
Right, so the Spearhead is the heavies and the Vanguard is the elites.
Yep.
So if we start with the Warlord.
So
this is Chaplain Acriel.
Yeah, so I'm going to give him the command point for Fluff to make him a Death Company version.
Yep.
He's got the Relics of Baal, which is the Veritas Vitae. He's got a jump pack, and he has the Warlord trait to give him +1 damage on his weapon, and I'm going to go for the Crozius. He's also got an Inferno pistol.
Sure, okay. Then we've got 2 units of Death Company by the look of it.
Yeah, so unfortunately I'm going to have to do a little bit of proxying, but...
oh, that's -1 command point, you know.
Yeah, sure. So the Inferno... There's the same, so I'll just talk you through one squad. So Inferno pistols on 2 guys.
Yep.
So again, Inferno pistols. Unfortunately, it's the opposite way around. So these are all power swords.
Sorry. Yep.
So everyone here's got a power sword.
Yep.
And then all bolt guns.
Yep.
So replace the pistols with the bolt guns, because why not?
Yep.
And then these 2 are just basically normal bodies. So they're just going to be chain swords and bolt guns.
Sure.
And I'm expecting them to die quickly, so then we have...
Yep, that's fine. Yeah. And then in the ones at the back, we've got 2 Inferno pistols. The 3 in the middle will have power swords, and the 2 on the right won't.
Yeah, there's absolutely the same. Yeah, so it should look better when a few casualties. But,
no worries.
Yeah, and we've got
Company Dreadnought.
Death Company Dread. He doesn't have many upgrades, so he has. Let me just get it. The Magna Grapple he does have, and a Melter Gun and Storm Bolter.
Okie dokie. And the Storm Raven.
The Storm Raven. This time is going to be loaded out with Twin Multi-Melter. It's going to go for the Assault Cannon.
Okay.
And Hurricane Bolters.
Alright. And who's in there? I'm guessing the Dreadnought is?
Just the Dread.
Okie dokie.
So he's flying off the back.
Yep.
Okay,
and then the second... Spearhead.
So this is just a basic Sanguinary Priest, Chainsword, Stormbolter. Literally, oh no, it gave him a Stormbolter.
Yep, okay.
He doesn't have a jump pack, he just looks better with wings.
Okay, no worries.
But yeah, he's just got Stormbolter, that's it.
Yep. 5-man Terminator.
Wyzywig.
Okay.
So one
clause.
And the guy with the raised hammer is the Sergeant.
Excellent.
Wyzywig.
Yep, 2 Predators. Las Cannons and Autocannon.
So I've gone for the one with the
Redeemer.
Yeah, the fire one.
Yep, the Redeemer.
So these guys can all fit in basically.
Okay.
So I've never used that before, but it's just basic, so I didn't go for any upgrades.
No upgrades at all.
No, that's 2,000 on the dot.
Lovely. So that is 2,000 points. Blood Angel Task Force led by Chaplain Acriel, coming in to assist Pluraxis Ort and his little army of robots. Right, and here is the Forge World Graia forces of Pluraxis Ort.
That's the one.
So, Pluraxis Ort
Yep.
is a Tech Priest Dominus with a Volkite Blaster and Phosphor Serpenter.
That is correct, and the Omniscient Axe.
And the Omniscient Axe, of course. He is joined today by a Tech Priest Engine Seer, who is as yet unnamed because he hasn't done anything special.
Nope, he's just, his name's 1.
Okay, he is number 1.
He might get promoted to 2, depending on how he does.
Okay, troops-wise.
We've got a unit of 10...
Vanguard.
Yep. Which have got 3 Plasma in.
Yep. And a Taser Goad on the Alpha.
Yep. And then another unit of Vanguard in the back.
Yep.
These have got...
2 Arc Rifles. Arc Pistol, Arc Maul on the Alpha.
Yep. That's
fantastic. 3 Breaches. No. Yes, Breaches.
3 Breaches with the Torsion Cannons, and then 3 destroyers.
Yeah, they are destroyers with the Grav. Excellent. And then the final troops over here is 5 Rangers with 2 Transuranic Arquebuses and an Omnispex.
Yes.
Excellent.
Indeed.
5 Sicarian Infiltrators.
Yep.
Power Sword and Stub
Stub
Carbine on the Alpha.
Yep, and then the rest of them have got the...
Sorry, the Princeps, I beg your pardon. And the Flechette Blasters and Taser Goats.
Yep, for the rest of them.
Excellent. 2 individual Dragoons. With Taser Goats.
They've both got Taser Goats. They've both also got the Phosphor Serpentas.
Okay, sorry, Taser Lances, I beg your pardon. And they've got Phosphor Serpentas.
Yep. 2 Onager Doom Crawlers,
Yep.
both with the Neutron Laser and Cognis Heavy Stubber.
And additional Heavy Stubbers.
Additional Heavy Stubber.
Excellent. And then
we've
the
got,
Unbroken Sentinel
Unbroken Sentinel,
returns.
who's exactly the same as he was last time.
Yep.
So the Gatling Cannon, the Storm Spear,
Yep.
missiles,
Melter Gun, Thunderstrike.
Melter Gun, and the gun.
Excellent. So,
And considering how well he did last time, he's been upgraded to a 2-up invulnerable.
he has not. Okay, so that is 2,000 points of Adeptus Mechanicus. What should we call them? The chasing... No,
Chaser
not
force.
chasing. The chaser force. This is the force that was chasing down the word bearers.
Yeah.
And have fallen into their cunningly devised trap.
Yes.
And now we'll have a look at the word bearers. Okay, and here is the war host of Darvor the Damned, because I've forgotten how many times he's been damned. It is 4,000 points of word bearers. It is a battalion detachment, a vanguard detachment, and 2 spearhead detachments. So, in the battalion, to begin with, we have Darvor himself. He's a Chaos Lord with a jump pack and the Cursed Crozius. We have a Sorcerer with a jump pack, 4-sword plasma pistol. We have a 15-man Chaos Space Marine squad with close combat weapons, and the champion has a Power Fist. We have 2 5-man Chaos Space Marine squads with bolters, 8 Warp Talons, marked Slanesh, 2 squads of Havocs with 4 Melter Guns in each, and a Hellforged Dreadclaw drop pod from Forge World. The Vanguard detachment is led by the Chaos Sorcerer in Terminator armor. There is a 10-man squad of Possessed, a 10-man squad of Terminators. They have a variety of different Power Fists, Chain Fists, Lightning Claws, and they all have Combi Plasmas, and they're marked Slanesh. We've got 2 individual Hellbrutes, Twin-Link Las Cannon's Power Fist Heavy Flamer on the left there, Twin Las Cannon and Missile Launcher on the right. First of the Spearheads is led by an Exalted Champion, 2 Predators with the Autocannons, Las Cannon Sponsons, and the Mauler Fiend there that you can see with the Lasher Tendrils. And the second of the second of the Spearheads is led by a Chaos Lord here with a Power Sword, 3 Vindicators, 1 Rapier Battery, and 1 Leviathan Siege Dreadnought with the Claw and the Gravflux Bombard. So that is 4,000 points of word bearers.
Okay, so here we are with the Imperium deployment. Hoping I can remember what everything is, but Matt might need help. We start over on the Blood Angels. So what have we got?
So we've got 2 Preds
Yep.
here. We've got one of the squads of the Death Company just protecting the lines because there's some stuff in the midfield here. So
Yeah.
just want to make sure that these guys can be able to respond quickly to the threat. And we've got the Flamestorm Cannon kind of one here, so that needs to get up as quick as possible. It's also got the Sanguinary Priest and the Terminators, the Thunderhammer Terminators in. So that's looking to kind of, again, hopefully get in close and resolve any threats in the midfield as quick as possible.
Cool. And in reserves?
In reserves, we've said that the Flyer's going to come on in the start of the second turn, because it's responding and they haven't. We've called in air support, but it hasn't got there yet.
Yep.
And this guy's going to be attached to the back.
Yep. Cool.
And then deep striking, we've got the Chaplain Acreal and the other squad.
Another squad of
who are exactly the same loadout as the other
Death Guard.
Death Company.
Death Company.
We're
Death Guard.
Imperial. We're Imperial.
Death Wing. Death Guard. Whatever. And on the Admech side, Death Watch. Yeah, they're also here. We've got a unit of infiltrators infiltrating, and a partridge in a pear tree. We have got the 2 Dragoons just at the edge of my deployment now, ready to shoot up. and there's also a unit of the destroyers
Yep.
with the heavy grav.
Mhm.
Inside the building, we've got the rangers, and below them there is also the first unit of the vanguard.
The 10-man plasma squad.
That's the 10-man plasma squad.
Mhm.
But one of the onagers with the neutron laser, who's got a tasty little view
At
up
number
through
1 and
there
2.
at number 1 and 2. The second onager is here in the backfield, but with quite a nice view up the main causeway. The knight is standing here ready to move up behind the Blood Angels Land Raider and get into combat as soon as possible.
Yep.
And then we've got the second squad of Vanguard with the arc rifle, and also the breaches, just ready to move up and support the Blood Angels as we move up the causeway.
And then the word bearers deployment, because they are ambushing.
This is it, it's just
It's
bits of
all
paper.
numerical. So I've written down what each of these units are.
These are
As we did.
just on the
Yeah,
table
it's just
for-
so I've got them on the table.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll reveal them as we go through.
Yep, did you
So
want to
we'll
go?
start with number. We'll do it numerically.
Yeah,
Let me,
So
let, me,
number
let,
one.
me, let me, let me, yeah, he's gonna be. Yeah.
So number
he's
1
going to cheat.
Yeah.
So number 1,
is a 5-man unit of Chaos Space Marines.
Ooh,
we were not
Scared
expecting
about
that.
game changer.
Number 2,
Where's number
which
2?
is back here, is
6.
a Hellbrute
Oh, okay.
with twin las cannon and power fist.
Very
Number
nice.
3,
Where's number 3?
which is at the back here.
Vindicator. Go on.
Excuse me.
Is it?
Matt,
Brilliant.
Matt made a bit of a mistake when he was putting.
Number
Right.
4.
Let's stay still.
Number 4 is a 5-man unit of Chaos Space Marines.
Interesting.
Okay.
Hello, Dev Company.
That was not.
Because, you see, these are the guys that you've been chasing that have been luring you back into an ambush.
It's a very good, fluffy point.
5.
Nice and fluffy. Welcome to my power sword.
Number 5 is a 10-man unit of Possessed.
Ooh.
Possessed, always doing very well for the word bearers.
Not at all.
My Leviathan is very
Pants.
fond of them.
Yeah, he is. So there is a 10-man unit of Possessed.
Excellent.
I don't think I've been up against Possessed.
You've not, no.
They die very easily.
Number 6. Oh,
Where's
that was
number
number
6?
5. Sorry, let me get that off the table. Number 6 is over in this corner here.
Number 6 is there.
Number 6.
Vindicator.
I cocked it up.
Vindicator. Yes.
Is
A Vindicator. Wow.
Number 14.
A nice
7.
Number 14 is the Vindicator.
Number 7 in the middle here.
is the
Is a Mauler Fiend.
Mortar Fiend.
Interesting.
In there.
Okay.
Number 8, which is up in the middle
Number
there.
8.
I'm going to need you to step to the right, please.
Up in the front, what have we got in here?
Is a 15-man squad
Ooh.
of Chaos Space Marines with close combat weapons.
Interesting.
So I'll put them in squad order in a minute.
Yep, yep.
But just to get them on the board there. Number 9
Just behind them.
is an Exalted Champion
There he is.
in the middle. Number 10, which is back in the corner here,
10 over here.
it's a Hellbrute with twin las and missile launcher.
Okie doke.
Number 11
Which is
In
just in
front of
front
him.
of the Hellbrute.
is a Chaos Lord
About to get shot in the back.
with a power sword. Number 12
Ooh, the quad.
is 2 Rapiers.
Yep.
2 Rapier
With-
laser destroyers.
With laser destroyers.
Yes, indeed.
Hence the name Rapier.
Laser
Laser
destroyers.
destroyers.
Clue is in the name.
It is indeed.
Number 13.
Where's 13?
13 is right there.
Right here.
This looks cool.
This does look cool.
Looks really nice.
Number 14.
I like the fact you've got the bodies on the ground as well,
Yeah.
like the actual boots.
Yeah.
Yep. 14.
Number 14
Vindicator.
is a Vindicator.
Who knew, right? Who knew?
Matt suddenly
Number
realised as he
14
was
is
coming towards the
Vindicator.
end that we might deep strike stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you reckon number 15 is?
Pred.
So, what's number 16?
Leviathan.
Yes. Number 15 is a Predator.
Just down there. And the last but not
16.
least is Mr. Leviathan.
In there.
So there we go.
So, reserve for me.
Oh, yes,
I
of course,
have
reserves.
my Jump pack sorcerer.
Are they?
They're all over
Oh, they're over
My
there.
jump pack sorcerer, I'm a warlord with a jump pack. My sorcerer with Terminator armour, Terminator's warp talons, and the Dreadclaw with the 2 units of Havoc's in.
Still quite a lot of stuff.
Still a lot of stuff to come in for the word
I want
bearers.
to check any of those numbers.
No, I believe you.
We believe him.
Let's check it.
Let's check it. So that is the deployment.
Yep.
We finished deploying first, I think, but
So now
it's
there's
just
plus
an
one, so it's
yeah,
just-
no plus for either, so it's just a standard roll off.
Okay, so we've seen the deployment. We know what's going on.
Did you want them like that?
That's fine.
You sure?
We are now going to roll off to see who gets first turn. Will gets 2. Word bearers get 3. Word bearers turn 1.
That makes narrative sense.
It does, doesn't it? Okay, so word bearers will be going first. This is going to be interesting. Darvor has unleashed the might of his war host against
If he loses
the forces
again,
of the
he can
Imperium.
respawn in the next game.
He probably will be if he loses again, to be honest. So, with engines revving, chants to the dark gods filling the air, the forces of the word bearers start their advance. Okay, so the forces of the word bearers advance, desperate to get to grips with the forces of the Imperium and wipe them off the planet so that they can take command of the forges of Avitius. Vindicators moving around a little, but unable to bring their guns to bear this turn. Predator on the left-hand flank staying stationary. It's got a number of good shots, decent line of sight, down range. Same on the right-hand side. Hellbrute, Vindicator, Laser Destroyer staying still, all within range of the Chaos Lord on the corner. Hellbrute over here, unable to contain its rage, has marched forwards, desperate to get to grips with the forces of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Possessed, Chaos Space Marines in the centre, Leviathan, Mauler Fiend, all just advancing. Terminators have deep struck in, ready to unleash their plasma and potentially get some charges. Chaos Sorcerer, deep struck in next to them in his Terminator armour, with Darvor the Damned just behind them. And on the far left flank, the Warp Talons and the Sorcerer with the jump pack have also descended from high orbit. And the Dreadclaw drop pod with the Havocs in has dropped in at the back, ready to unleash their melter against these vehicles arrayed along the backfield of the Imperial lines. So we're moving into the psychic phase now, and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, so the word bearers ask, and the warp answers. Very successful psychic powers being cast there. Power of Slaanesh fill in the Warp Talons, granting them protection from any wounds that they may suffer. Delightful agonies, they have feel no pain. Empowering them with additional speed, granting them warp time, the ability to move again. The Sorcerer in the centre, smote the Death Company down here, and also granted the Terminators in the centre a glimpse into the future and the ability to be more accurate with their shooting weapons. So that's the psychics over and done with, and we're on to the shooting phase. We shall come back momentarily. Okay, so guns blazing. The word bearers open up hostilities. All of the big guns on the right-hand flank firing down and through at the Onager here and the Knight.
Yep.
Shields flickering, and to be fair, the wall's getting in the way as well. Blocked a number of shots through on the Knight, so no damage sustained, I don't believe.
Nope.
The Onager down here, not quite so lucky, even with all the bodies and things in the way. Still sustained a number of, quite a large amount of damage actually.
Yep. Had to use a command point to reroll the save.
You did indeed. So that was alright. The Onager at the back sustained a little bit of damage from the Predator on my far left over here, and the autocannons dealing damage to the destroyers who were in this building. Huge number of plasma shots coming into the destroyers, wiping them out, and an equally huge number of plasma shots stripping a vast amount of hull points off that Land Raider.
You may want to explain why there was a...
Oh, I'm going to. So melters on the back, I think actually might be what did the damage to the Onager at the back, and the other set of melters firing at the Predators splitting fire between those two and stripping some wounds off here and there. Destroyers down here also took a large amount of plasma fire because Slaanesh demanded noise, and noise was provided. The Endless Cacophony stratagem was used on the Slaaneshi Terminators to fire their plasma twice in the turn. So I'm not going to complain. Lucky save on the Onager,
Yeah, indeed.
and not quite enough damage to take out the Land Raider, but that's okay because the Destroyers are dead and the Breachers
Largely
are
ineffective.
largely dead,
Yeah.
and to be honest, might run away in a minute anyway, or at the end of the turn rather. So the guns fall silent momentarily, and the forces of the Word Bearers gear up for an assault. I'm declaring charges with 2 units, so we'll come back at the end of the assault phase and see how successful I am or otherwise. Okay, so 1 charge successful, the other one faltering. Warp Talons have charged in. They hit all of the targets they were attempting, both Predators, the Death Company and the Land Raider, and the Terminators here failing their charge but taking a wound to the desperate snapfire from the Vanguard Alpha.
Precision aim snapfire.
Okay, precision aim, okay, we'll take that instead. So we'll go on and roll some combats and we'll come back in a moment. Okay, so the end of the assault phase and the end of the first of the Word Bearer advances in the game, or in the battle rather. The Warp Talons here successfully charged in. I don't think they did anything to the Predators, did they? Or did they strip a wound off? Yes, 1 on this one, because they were both on 8. Did some minor damage to the 2 Predators. Killed a few of the Death Company.
Really?
And no additional damage onto the Land Raider. And then when it came time to attack back, no damage received. And then one of the Death Company decided it was better to run away and live to fight another day when it came to the morale phase. So we'll go on to the Imperium's response, and be back in the Imperial turn. Okay, so the Imperials are manoeuvring to try and repel borders. So the Infiltrators have popped in to defend the Dunecrawler.
Yep.
The Death Company and, is that the Chaplain there as well, I spot, have deep struck in there to attempt to engage the Warp Talons in combat. Terminators have disembarked from the Land Raider, going after the Havocs at the back, and the Land Raider's fallen back out of combat to make space for the Death Company to get through. Dragoons and Vanguard pushing forward. Knight, the Unbreakable... forgot what his name is.
Sentinel.
The Unbroken Sentinel, marching out to the centre of the table, centre of the road, to sow some destruction on the Terminators. And the Storm Talons come in, screaming. Storm Raven, beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Screaming onto the battlefield on the far right hand side of the Imperial lines. So we'll go into shooting now and see what they can do. Okay, bolters blasting, radium carbines firing, I suppose. Gatling cannons. Gatling, yep. Pretty decent response actually from the forces of the Imperium.
Yeah.
Squad down here wiped out, combination of fire from down here.
Yep.
Hellbrute destroyed from the plasmas from this squad. 6 of the Terminators brought down. There's a lot of firepower going into them from all over the place.
Yep.
Few of the Havocs, few of each squad of Havocs actually brought down. 2 Warp Talons brought down by Inferno Pistols in the combat. A number of wounds taken on the Sorcerer. Storm Talon using its Hurricane Bolters to good effect there. Leviathan is now broken, steaming, spitting sparks, completely knackered, has 1 wound remaining and a number of wounds taken down on the Predator here. So that's all of the shooting that was done.
Yep.
As I say, pretty good response. And we're going into charges now. I know there's at least 3, but I'm not sure if there'll be any more. So we'll do charges and we'll come back if there's any Overwatch to resolve. Okay, successful counter-attack, or counter-charge rather, for the most part. Infiltrators and Death Company down here failed their charges, but the Terminators have made it into both units of Havocs. And the Dreadclaw is also there to be attacked with the Thunderhammers. We've got ongoing combat here. with the remaining Death Company and the Predators, and in the centre, the Dragoons levelling taser lances. One has made it into the big squad of Marines in the middle. The other one's made it into the Terminators, as has the Knight. No damage inflicted on Overwatch there. So we'll go into the fights now, and we'll come back at the end of the fight phase. Very successful fight back there from the Imperials. All the Terminators wiped out, as we saw. That was combat from the Knight there, stomped all over them. Down here, Havoc's reduced dramatically in numbers, and the Dreadclaw reduced down to 1 remaining wound. A few of the Warp Talons killed, I think 2 killed in combat. And that was it, combat-wise. Retaliating, the last of the Death Company brought down, 2 of the Terminators killed, and some wounds put on the Iron Striders in the middle. So that's the end of turn 1. In total, we've done morale as well. Nobody failed any morale tests.
I've failed morale. Personally.
Oh. Yeah. So, at the moment, it's looking
bleak,
better than it did a minute ago, but it's still looking pretty good for the Word Bearers.
There's a fair line of defence.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll go into turn 2 and see if the second wave can do any better than the first wave did. Okay, with a little bit of reorganising, the second wave is pushing forwards. The Vindicator's lining up to take some shots at the back. Shooty corner staying still. The Chaos Space Marine squad in the middle has fallen back out of combat and left the Iron Strider Dragoon free. The Possessed and the Exalted Champion have moved up. Chaos Lord has fallen back. Leviathan and Maulerfiend moved up towards the Knight. The Warp Talons over in the corner have fallen back out of combat to free up these two Predators to get shot at. And the Dreadclaw has come out of combat as well, and the closest target to shoot at is the Sanguinary Priest there, because he's got a pistol weapon, so he can shoot there. So we'll go into the Psychic phase now, and see what we can do. Okay, so the Warp giveth and the Warp taketh away. Turn 1, very successful Psychic round. Turn 2, not very successful Psychic round. The Sorcerer in Terminator armour attempted to cast Death Hex on the Knight. Chaos Gods didn't like that very much. Exploded his head, which then did wounds on the Stormraven, wounds on the Maulerfiend, destroyed the Hellbrute, did a wound on the Knight. And he was obviously slain. This Sorcerer then attempted to cast Delightful Agonies on the Warp Talons. Successfully cast with a double 6 perils, did 3 wounds to himself, and then failed to cast Smite on the Storm Talon. Stormraven. I always get those two confused and I don't know why. So I've done more damage to myself in the Psychic phase than I did to the enemy, which is awesome.
Sounds familiar.
So now we're going to Shooting phase.
Let the guns
and
open.
See what happens. So the shooting wasn't as good that turn. Stripped a few wounds off the Knight. And that was about it, really. Killed a Terminator with pistols.
Took some wounds off us. Down to 5 now, it's a different profile.
Clearly everybody's getting tired, losing their ability to shoot. There's lots of smoke on the battlefield.
No one can see.
Nobody can see. The Leviathan getting exploded wasn't a good idea, or wasn't a good. Didn't help. That's what I was trying to say. Everything, the invulnerable saves on the Knight were insane.
Yeah, I saved pretty much everything from the laser destroyers and the Hellbrute
and both Predators.
Yeah,
and
it
was pretty crazy. Just mortal wounds coming from the Linebreaker bombardment from the Vindicators. We're going into the assault phase now. We've got some charges to declare, and we'll come back at the end of that. So. That's the 2 charges that I had declared. Was the Possessed, made it into both of the Dragoons and into the Knight, and then the Mauler Fiend charged into the knight as well. No damage sustained on Overwatch. So we are going to do some punching now and hopefully kill some stuff. We've got the ongoing combat in that corner as well to do in a moment. So we'll do that and then we'll come back in a sec. Okay, so combat's over. Wordbearers charged in and bounced off the Admech and the Blood Angels. Mauler Fiend did absolutely nothing to the knight. Clearly very confused from when the sorcerer exploded earlier.
Just watched his mate pop.
The knight then stomped all over the possessed and killed 3 of them, I think. Possessed then struck back at the dragoons, put a couple of wounds on them, nothing particularly special. They did 1 wound back, killed off one of the possessed. Over here, 1 wound done to the sanguinary priest by this squad of havocs down here, and then these terminators here killed the other 2 havocs that were remaining from the other squad. And that is that. That's the end of turn 2 for the forces of the Wordbearers. And we're going on to turn 2 for the Imperium now. So the Imperials are counterattacking quite significantly. Knight has fallen back out of combat. The 2 dragoons remained in combat with the possessed. The Vanguard, the Breacher, the Tech Priest Enginseer, Chaplain Acreal have all moved up the centre of the table, up the path. The Infiltrators also moved up the road. Land Raiders shimmied over a bit. He's not able to move very far at the moment, given the number of the amount of damage he's taken so far. Terminators over here have advanced over to... Well, no, they haven't. They've moved over towards the Dreadclaw and these remaining Havocs. The Apothecary has brought one of them back to life. Predators remain still to get maximum firepower available. Dreadnought here came out of the Storm Raven and has moved up, ready to fire and probably charge the Predator. Storm Raven's moved over to kill the other Predator and fire all of its guns all over the place like he did last time. And these guys have used one of the stratagems, I can't remember what it's called, but basically they've launched their jump packs and traversed the battlefield and have landed in the back here.
Wings of Fury.
Wings of Fury, something along those lines.
What was important is that I used my relic to get the stratagem back, so hopefully I'll have 3 command points, so 2 to do the 3d6 charge, and then hopefully 1 if I need to reroll.
Yep. Okay, so we'll go into shooting phase now for the forces of the Imperium, and yeah, we'll see how much of the Wordbearer force that they can remove. Okay, more decent shooting from the forces of the Imperium. Let's keep going, moving around. A number of these Space Marines taken down. Combination of fire from the radium carbines of the Vanguard, heavy stubbers from the Onagers, and the galvanic rifles from the Rangers up top. Wounds taken off of Darvor with the 2 sniper rifles. A wound from the Mauler Fiend. Number of wounds from the Predator, that was the melter gun from the Dreadnought here, that's going to be charging in a moment. Wounds over here on the Predator and the Hellbrute from a number of different places, and one of the rapier batteries taken out, that was the assault cannons and the hurricane bolters from the Storm Raven flying overhead. So we've got the assault phase coming up now, and there's going to be a few charges declared. Maybe I'll get lucky with some Overwatch, but probably not. Yeah, still relatively successful. Havocs in the corner have been killed off by the Terminators, who have then consolidated into the Dreadclaw in the corner. The Knight only did a few wounds actually to the Mauler Fiend. He didn't do particularly well. A number of the Possessed brought down, though, combination of Chaplain Acreal and the Dragoon in there, killing a few of them, so there's a morale test to go with those guys. And over here, the Death Company Dreadnought destroyed the Predator, took a wound when it exploded, and then charged into the... or took 3 wounds, rather. Took 3 wounds when it exploded, and then consolidated into the Vindicator. So...
Death Company...
Oh, and the Death Company over here failed their charge into the Predator.
3d6, 1, 1, 2.
Yeah, still finding their feet after having launched up into the air from the previous turn, I would imagine. So morale in the middle. How many did you kill? You killed 4.
Yeah.
Reroll because of word bearers. They're fine. Okay, so we'll go into word bearers turn, whatever it is, turn 3, and we'll come back in a moment. See if they can punch back and how hard they can punch back. Okay, so a little bit of manoeuvring to get some better shots left and right. A few bits and pieces falling back from combat. The possessed in the centre have fallen back, and the Chaos Space Marines have taken their place, along with Darvor and the Exalted Champion in the centre. Mauler Fiend remained in combat. Warp Talons and the Sorcerer over there have advanced up. Vindicator's fallen back away from the Dreadnought, and this one has turned around to fire at the Death Company here. No movement on this side, and that's it. So very much last gasp attempts now to salvage something from this game, from this battle. Not expecting Darvor to survive, I have to say. But we shall see what happens. So we're going to the Psychic phase. We've still got the Sorcerer over on the corner, and we'll see what he can do. And we'll be back in a moment. Okay, so Psychic, when the Chaos Gods don't like you, the Chaos Gods don't like you. They've truly turned their backs on this Word Bearer force here. The Psyker failed to instill the Warp Talons with the Blessings of Slanesh, and then when casting Smite, it blew his own head off with a Perils result, which killed one of the Warp Talons with the ensuing explosion. Destroyed the Predator, which was nice, and did another couple of wounds on that Predator there. So, not doing so well when it comes to Psychics this game. Clearly, Darvor's failure in the last mission has had an impact. So we'll move into shooting now and see what else we can do with the remainder. Okay, so shooting over and done with. Very successful in the middle. Combination of bolters and bolt pistols. Killing one of the Dragoons, and then in an act of reckless hope, I suppose it would be, Darvor loaded his very last Demon Shell into his bolt pistol, levelled it at the last remaining Dragoon, and blew it apart, which was very successful. Vindicator, not so successful, shooting at the Death Company over there, no damage done at all. I think his rapid turnaround has confused him. Predator here, and the Hellbrute, and the Chaos Lord, and the Hellforged Rapier, all firing up at... Oh no, sorry, not Predator, I beg your pardon.
Yeah, just those two.
The autocannon, and the Hellbrute, and the Lord, and the Hellforged Rapier, all firing up at the Storm Raven, stripping off 6 wounds, which was nice, and the 2 las cannons firing downrange at the Onager, but not doing anything at all. Dreadclaw, over there, stripped a wound off the Sanguinary Priest and killed a Terminator and wounded another with its thermal jets. So we'll go into the assault phase. We've got a couple of charges to do, I think. Everybody down here is going to be charging forwards. We've got the ongoing combat in the centre. So we'll be back in a moment with that. So we're interrupting the assault phase now to tell an epic tale of treachery on behalf of the Word Bearer's Exalted Champion.
Yeah.
So Darvor and the Exalted Champion and the remaining Chaos Space Marines have all charged into Chaplain Acrio in the hopes to murder him horrendously and offer up his soul to the Dark Gods. So Darvor, hit and wounded with all the swings of his cursed Crozius, and didn't manage to take the last wound off the chaplain. So now the Exalted Champion is going to try and steal the glory and kill the chaplain. So he hits on 2s and he re-rolls 1s because he's right next to my Chaos Lord. That's 4 hits.
4 hits.
He wounds on 3s because he has a power axe, and he re-rolls 1s because he's next to himself.
Jesus.
That's 4 wounds.
Right.
So,
Did I roll 6s?
No. I don't
I've been asking this for the entire
yeah,
game.
we've
I keep
been
forgetting.
missing. Yeah.
That is 4 wounds at -2.
So 4 of them vulnerable.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
3 go through.
Oh dear.
They do 1 damage apiece.
Okay.
So you've got 3,
3,
6
6
up.
up.
We've
6
made
up.
it.
Yeah, this guy's going to chaos.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
down.
He's properly down.
My
Yeah.
exalted champion. He's going to get a name, and he's going to
And overthrow
get
Darvor.
promoted. Yeah, definitely.
He's got the idea.
Can you
Can
cut
you
up?
do it?
Can
Yeah.
you cut up Darvor and have him slain on his base?
I think I might do, yeah.
Right.
So we'll come back at the end after
Weird.
that, but that was just a little epic moment that we wanted to include,
Yeah.
where the exalted champion steals a bit of Darvor's glory.
Yeah, shows Darvor up.
Exactly.
Right. We'll be back in a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so mixed bag in the assault phase.
Yeah. Indeed.
Over here, Vindicator, ramming speed, no damage inflicted either side of that combat over there. The Dreadclaw was destroyed by the Thunderhammer of the Terminator Sergeant.
Thank God.
Warp Talons, no damage to the side of that Predator, and it did no damage in return. And the Knight finished off the Mauler Fiend, stomped all over it, which was quite entertaining. We saw the Exalted Champion stealing the glory and killing Chaplain Acreal. And as if the gods of chaos willed it and had completely lost faith in Darvor,
Yeah.
he was then dragged down by lowly
Vanguard.
Adeptus Mechanicus Skitari Vanguard.
Yeah.
Did the aspiring champion have something to do with that?
The exalted champion, yeah.
Yeah.
He may well have done, yeah.
Did he have one eye
He
on him?
may well have
and
done.
then, And then took
Yeah.
some bolts
Yeah.
to the
Well, I
face?
think he started buffing the Vanguard.
Yeah.
I think his aura started affecting the Vanguard.
Nice.
So that is all of the combat.
Yeah.
For the Admech turn, you didn't roll your canticles for this turn.
Ah, you didn't.
You do it at the start of each game turn.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
So
Never mind.
roll one now.
I was going to choose one,
Okay, choose one.
which is the reroll ones to hit. Each
Okay.
shooting phase, so it actually.
Okay, so it didn't make any difference
Yeah.
anyway. Right, so we're moving into the Imperial turn. The Knight is going to cause me some real issues, as is the Storm Raven, as is the Dreadnought over there, as are the Death Company over there, as are the two Onagers at the back here. I'm not overly fussed by that corner, because all they're going to do is kill some Warp Talons.
Yeah.
And then there's a whole mess in the middle.
Bloody.
It's been pretty
So
brutal.
bloody.
It's been pretty brutal. But hey, it's Chaos against Imperium. It's bound to be bloody. And quite frankly, I'm trying to kill as much as I physically can, because that's what the Chaos Gods want.
I can't believe how it is swung.
I know,
Yeah.
considering we were ready to give
we were
up
gonna-
basically
we were gonna-
after turn one.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw the towel in after.
I think what you mean is Pluraxis Ort was ready to retreat after turn one,
Yes.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
but he changed his mind.
Changed his mind.
Right.
So let's do this, and we'll be back in a moment. So, the Imperial counterattack.
Yeah.
This has been very
is
much a case
so-
of backwards and forwards. This is a very fluid battlefield. The Death Company on the far, deep in the Wordbearer lines, have fallen back away from combat from the Vindicator. The Death Company Dreadnought and the Storm Raven have both moved over in that corner. Knight is just sort of wandered around a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not really doing very much. Engine Seer has moved up next to him to effect some repairs. He's one repair.
Yeah.
Just gets 1 point,
Yeah.
1 wound back. Infiltrators moved up. Vanguard and Breacher have moved back. Predator fallen back. Terminators, Sanguinary Priest, and Land Raider have moved up to take care of the 2 remaining Warp Talons.
Yeah.
Vanguard moved forwards to fire up at the Hellforged Rapier. Honor just moved forwards a bit, as has Pluraxis Ort, Rangers remaining stationary. So it is time to fire some Imperial weaponry and see what they can do. I'm not expecting to have much in the way of word bearers left on the table in about 5 minutes' time. Okay, so the closing stages of the battle. We've got lots of blood being spilled from the forces of chaos. A huge number of the tactical squad, the Chaos Space Marine squad in the middle were brought down. Combination of attacks in combat and shooting from a variety of different sources. 3 of the Chaos Space Marines over here brought down by the assault cannons from the Storm Raven. Vindicator destroyed, combination of shooting and the attacks from the Death Company Dreadnought. Very knackered Predator over this side. 1 wound done to this squad. here. In fact, I need to do a morale test for those 2 Marines over there because they lost 3. That's 2. They're fine. And that is the end of that.
Those 2 Inferno pistols were good actually. Took a Hellbrute out.
Oh, and the Hellbrute was destroyed as well.
And there's 6 wins.
And with that, all HQ's dead. The Exalted Champion was slain by the Princeps of the Infiltrators. And the Word Bearers are going to have to withdraw. There is nothing we can do now. Again, we're going to have to withdraw. Darvor's dead, so I can't. So I can't roll on the table for him. He's just dead. I'll tell you what. On a 6, he's not dead.
Yeah. Okay.
And we roll. No, on the 6, he's not dead, and we roll on the table like we did last time. Yeah, he's dead. So Darvor is actually dead. There are no surviving commanders.
Does the Champion actually die?
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So there are no commanders left for the Word Bearers. They have to withdraw because otherwise they'll just get completely destroyed.
Yeah.
And to be honest, they probably will get destroyed on the way back. So overwhelming victory for the forces of the Imperium, although they are hurting a lot as well. Hard-won victory. So the Word Bearers are going to have a serious think about what happens in the next mission. Oh, I beg your pardon. This guy gets promoted.
Yeah,
he is now the Warlord. A Chaos Lord with a power sword, who has done basically nothing for the last 2 missions. Avitius is looking more and more Imperial as the days go by. We're going to struggle to reclaim it in the next mission.
And
Unbroken Sentinel remains unbroken.
It's been an absolute boss.
He has not done too badly.
It's his tanking.
Yeah,
he's tanked so many shots.
Blood Angels have got a lot to mourn today as well, though.
They always have a lot to mourn.
Chaplain Acriel was slain. A number of their vehicles destroyed.
But the Dev Company Dreadnought did a bit.
He did alright, yeah. So yeah,
Acriel is firmly dead.
Oh, he's gone. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. He's just smashed into the floor. So yes, Avitius remains in Imperial control.
For now.
Word Bearers are going to be struggling next game. I think it's going to be a case of the Imperium chasing them down again and actually fighting them, and Word Bearers being on the defensive this time. So we hope you enjoyed that. It wasn't quite as narrative as we would normally do, but it was a good fun game nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it was a big game, and we enjoy big games, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Exactly.
And stay tuned for whatever this guy ends up being called, and his desperate attempt to defend the Word Bearers landing
might
zone.
have some crazy plans.
He might have some crazy plans. So yes, victory for the Imperium again, and defeat for the Word Bearers again.
Did my Blood Angels get a win?
I know, right?
Yeah. Well, shared.
Yeah.
Shared victory.
That's fair.
And yes, we hope you enjoyed that. Please stay tuned for the next part coming up soon, and we've got some more big games planned and some more normal games planned as well.
Can I bring my Titan?
And make sure
Can I?
you come and
Sorry, I just want to use my Titan.
and make sure you check out the video that was released on the subject of our 1,000 subscribers and the giveaway we're doing. Subscribe to the channel, leave a comment on that video, and the instructions are in the video basically. But make sure you check that out if you want to be in with a chance of winning. Thank you very much for watching. We hope you enjoyed that as much as we enjoyed playing it. And
see you in the next one.
We'll see you in the next one, where hopefully the Word Bearers can squeak a victory.
Yes.
And then we might even continue it on further if they do. Yeah. Otherwise, they're well and truly gone, and Avitius stands. Exactly. Yeah.
Do they want to invade an Eldar-based planet?
Hell no.
Maybe my.
Thank you very much.
See you later.
See you later.